Part 3. Big Pharma's Profit Model. Why a permanent cure was never the goal. How the pharmaceutical industry turned diabetes into a business of chronic dependence. The pharmaceutical industry is celebrated as one of humanity's great life-saving enterprises. Insulin, statins, blood pressure drugs, all have added years to millions of lives. Yet, behind this noble facade lies a darker truth. For chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, the business model thrives not on cures but on lifelong management. This section investigates how Big Pharma systematically shaped the trajectory of diabetes care. From research priorities to medical education, from lobbying to marketing, the industry has ensured that insulin resistance is not solved at its root, but merely controlled profitably for decades. The economics of disease. The global market for diabetes drugs exceeded $60 billion in 2024, driven largely by insulin analogs, GLP-1 receptor agonists, and SGLT2 inhibitors. These therapies are effective at lowering blood glucose, but none address the primary driver of the disease, insulin resistance. Why? Because a permanent cure, a nutritional or lifestyle intervention that completely eradicates the condition, would collapse this revenue stream. Recurring prescriptions are the lifeblood of pharmaceutical profits. Every new diagnosis adds a customer, not a patient. This is not conspiracy, it is economics. Shareholders expect growth, and growth in the diabetes market means more patients, not fewer. 3.2. The suppression of dietary solutions. The science is clear. Weight loss through calorie restriction, intermittent fasting, or whole food dietary interventions can induce remission in type 2 diabetes. Trials from the past 5 years consistently demonstrate that patients can lower HbA1c, reduce medication use, and, in some cases, fully reverse their diagnosis. Yet, these findings receive a fraction of the funding and publicity given to drug trials. Clinical guidelines, heavily influenced by industry-sponsored research, position lifestyle as an adjunct, while pharmaceuticals remain the gold standard. Doctors are trained to prescribe, not to guide patients through nutritional rehabilitation. The reason is structural. A lifestyle cure cannot be patented, marketed, or monetized in the same way as a pill or injection. 3.3. Lobbying and policy capture. Big Pharma's lobbying power is legendary. In the United States alone, the pharmaceutical industry spends more on lobbying than oil and defense combined. This influence shapes everything from insurance coverage to public health messaging. Consider the question of coverage. Insurance plans will reliably pay for the newest injectable diabetes drugs, costing thousands per year, but rarely reimburse patients for structured nutrition programs or health coaching. This is not oversight, it is design. The system is tilted toward profitable, patented interventions while neglecting prevention. Globally, pharmaceutical companies lobby governments to subsidize medications, framing them as essential to public health. Meanwhile, dietary and community-based prevention programs languish without funding. 3.4 Marketing the disease. One of Big Pharma's most insidious strategies has been the medicalization of pre-diabetes. By expanding the diagnostic boundaries, millions of people who might never progress to diabetes are now candidates for lifelong drug therapy. This pre-disease category creates future customers under the guise of preventive care. Advertisements frame diabetes drugs as liberating, enabling individuals to live normally while quietly ensuring dependence. Physicians are targeted with promotional campaigns, sponsored conferences, and incentives to prescribe the latest, most expensive therapies, even when other cheaper drugs or lifestyle changes would suffice. 3.5 The case of insulin. Insulin, once hailed as a miracle drug, has become a case study in profit extraction. Despite being discovered over a century ago, insulin prices have soared, especially in the United States. Patients are forced to ration life-saving medication while manufacturers maintain oligopolistic control over the market. What is rarely acknowledged is that most people with type 2 diabetes do not need insulin, at least not if the condition is addressed early with weight loss and dietary changes. Yet, insulin remains a cornerstone of therapy, not because it cures, but because it ensures lifelong dependency. 3.6 Research priorities. Follow the money. When examining diabetes research funding, the imbalance is striking. Billions flow into developing new drug classes, each promising incremental improvements in glucose control. In contrast, nutrition and prevention research is chronically underfunded. This disparity reflects more than oversight, it reflects control. Universities, medical journals, and professional societies often depend on pharmaceutical sponsorship. This funding shapes research agendas, continuing medical education, and even guideline committees. The result is a self-reinforcing cycle. Drugs dominate because they are studied, and they are studied because they dominate. 3.7 Beyond conspiracy, the structural trap. To frame this as a conspiracy would be too simplistic. It is not that. Pharmaceutical executives meet in smoke-filled rooms to suppress cures. No, the reality is subtler and more systemic. Pharmaceutical companies act rationally within a profit-driven system. Maximize shareholder value. Regulators act within a policy framework shaped by lobbying. Doctors practice within an insurance model that reimburses drugs but not prevention. Patients, overwhelmed by marketing, demand quick fixes. The outcome is tragic but predictable. A global health system structured to manage diabetes indefinitely rather than eliminate it. 3.8 Toward a different model. If type 2 diabetes is to be confronted at its root, the model must change. This means rebalancing research funding toward prevention, incentivizing dietary and lifestyle interventions, and restructuring insurance to pay for cures, not just control. There are glimpses of progress. Some health systems are piloting food as medicine programs, reimbursing produce prescriptions and nutrition counseling. Functional medicine approaches, once dismissed, are gaining evidence-based legitimacy. But these remain exceptions in a system overwhelmingly tilted toward pharmaceutical dependency. The task ahead is monumental. dismantling a profit model that thrives on disease, yet it is also urgent. For every year the status quo persists, millions more are trapped in the cycle of insulin resistance, drug escalation, and medical debt. In conclusion, Big Pharma has given the world life-saving treatments, but in the realm of type 2 diabetes, it has also perfected the art of dependence. The business model is clear: keep patients alive, but never cured. Breaking free requires not just individual choices, but structural reform. Until then, the profit model will continue to shape the epidemic, not toward resolution, but toward perpetuation.